windy. Winter's on its way. We're actually having an extreme cold morning. It's supposed to get down to 20, 25 tonight. So winter's going to be here before fall ever came. So yeah, welcome to Texas where we skip seasons, apparently. I would say not much happened this week, but once again, like 14 years ago, there was another, well, I say another, November the 13th, Friday the 13th of 2015 will probably be remembered for almost as long, if not longer, as September 11th. Especially in the eyes of the French people. And I know I'm not bringing this up to anybody who has not heard it before, because this was all over the news. Even we've been holding moments of silence throughout the weekend. The hospital held one on Saturday and Sunday. Probably today too. And of course, like any terrorist attack, it was not a good. The one thing I've been having issues with is some of the people have been blaming the faith of Islam for this. Muslims, the Islamic people, when that's not it. I would like to say ISIS did take blame of these attacks, or quote unquote blame. They took the blame with pride for some odd reason. Just called the French people a couple of things that should never be said about somebody, especially by anyone who has a religion who says to respect others, which, believe it or not, Islam does. Islam says not to accept the faith of quote unquote infidels, much like the Christian faith, much like the Jewish faith, much like the Hindu faith, much like most faiths. You're not supposed to accept the beliefs of others, or the faith of others. That's part of the faith. But it never says to disrespect the life of other humans. And I know this because I have been read the Quran. I've talked to people who are Islamic. I have friends who are Islamic. I have a friend from the Middle East who comes here to Saras. And they've been going through some discrimination lately. Also, it's very windy here, if you can't tell. They've been going through a lot of discrimination since Friday. And to them, it's not fair. Behind a building, hang on. But to them, they are loyal Americans. They believe in their faith, because that's what we should do. As someone who has a faith, I believe that we should always retain our faith. Ugh. But at the same time, we should never attack those of other faiths. But the thing is ISIS is one group of people. ISIS is a group that does not believe in acceptance. ISIS is a group that uses terror to get their way, which is what they were trying to do. It's what Al-Qaeda was trying to do on September 11th of 2001. In a way, it's what Japan was trying to do on December 7th of 1941. There's always a trend here. And that trend is terror never works. It might be something that I notice as a pacifist who does not agree in war. But at least from what I've learned and from what I've studied, anytime an attack like this happens, it only invigorates people. It makes people want not just to fight back, but to show that we're unified. that we are one. And that we're not going to take that standing down. Or that we're just not going to take that. So, like I told you, I don't think this is a good thing. Obviously, it is not. The French president's already said that he's going to attack ISIS unmercilessly. He's not going to hold back. The UK and the United States will follow right behind. It's just a matter of when does the dam break. Yeah. There's not much more I can say to that. Like I said, what happened Friday was a bad thing. They chose the day purposefully, much like they did 9/11. They chose Friday the 13th purposefully. But other than standing up and showing them showing ISIS that you're not gonna give in, there's not much else we can do. Other than continue the cycle of hatred, which never ends well. And that's actually what I want to encourage, is to not continue the cycle of hatred. Anyways, your word of the week was useless. So, because, I wasn't going to talk about it because it wasn't. It wasn't anywhere close. It was the opposite. So your other word of the week is going to be useless. Asa Viennas.